see.
I am so excited to meet with Gabby again. You guys love the content that she brings us, and it's usually just an organic conversation about the real estate world and what's going on with loans and the mortgage world, which is definitely her forte. So I want to introduce to you Gabby Tripp with Atlantic Coast Mortgage. She is the senior loan officer there, and she is going to help us. She's local here to the Charleston area, and my clients love her. So Gabby, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yes, thank you so much for asking me to do this. It is going to be informative, and I'm just excited to talk about mortgage.
Absolutely. And so much is changing. So I think this is very timely with, COVID. Hopefully, like we're on the tail end of that, but we're seeing the housing market has been crazy for the past 2+ years. And now we're starting to see interest rates go up. I mean, the state of the world is definitely kind of in flux. So
Yes.
I would love to hear your opinions about what you're seeing in terms of challenges for buyers right now.
Oh my gosh, you nailed it. I mean, buyers right now are definitely facing some uphill battles. I would say interest rates, are a big component of that. Obviously, inventory is another factor, especially in such an amazing market like Charleston. So I would say, just the general, interest rates, let's say at the end of last year to the beginning of this year, we're comfortably sitting, where they have been sitting for the last couple of years, right? They've been sitting right around low to mid 3%. And we've seen a steady climb this year in 2022 with the interest rate market. The Federal Reserve warned us about this. They said interest rates are going to rise in 2022, and they followed through on that promise. Prime rate change for the first time in a couple of years, it increased. So that is definitely the number one thing that I would say isn't a hurdle for buyers, but a conversation that I'm having with every single one of them. We're realistically looking at what does that mean in terms of your affordability that you can qualify for? How does that change your monthly budget? How is that impacting your down payment? So that's why it's so important to have a great relationship with a local lender, because it's going to evolve as the interest rates change, those
Yeah.
conversations.
Absolutely. And I think when you talk about local lender, that's so important, especially now we're seeing so many multiple offers on every property around
Yes.
town that when I talk to listing agents and I'm presenting an offer, they're like, that we talk about these huge banks, these online banks, and they're like, you got to get a different lender because this
Yeah.
is not going to fly. And it's crazy how important relationships have become just in the past like 6 months.
Yes.
So I don't want you to give away all your secrets because you definitely help my clients a lot. But I want to know, do you have any kind of tips or tricks you can give people on how to get creative and win with financing and multiple offers?
Absolutely. There's so many different things that can be done to be creative and to make yourself stand out. Number one, having an amazing real estate agent such as yourself, I mean, to help lean on, to guide, those clients through those negotiations and putting together a very strong offer. Number two, realizing, what are we dealing with down payment wise? Do we have some different options there? Bridge loans is a great option. Could we do a lower down payment now and then pay it down afterwards? Are we talking about, because a lot of them are cash buyers, right? Like we're seeing a lot of cash, or we're also seeing a lot of those companies like Ribbon, where you can, offer something with cash and then finance afterwards. Those are all creative options.
Okay.
But I'd say having that strong relationship, and also like closing dates important, which is why local lenders are great because we can close very quickly. And a lot of the time, closing fast is important to a seller. Sometimes having a longer closing is important. It just depends on the situation. And then
Yep.
also looking at all the other factors in the contract: appraisal contingencies, financing contingencies, inspection contingencies, really figuring out what's important to both parties. And trying to find that middle ground where it's going to be a good offer and also tick all the boxes that the seller's
Yep.
looking for.
Yep. I totally agree. And I think I'm getting really creative in how I write offers to still like so much protect the buyer because that's the goal.
Yes.
However, we still want to be competitive.
Yes.
And I think people need to understand that you're probably going to submit 4 to 5 offers
Yes.
before you find the house that works for you. That's like the average statistic right now. So I am very glass half full and optimistic, if you guys know me and see my videos, but I'm also a realist.
Yes.
And I think it's important for us to have realize it's a marathon and not a sprint. Like it's
Nailed
going to
it.
take time. We're going to see probably more houses than you want, but it will happen and we will find the right fit.
That's
But I can't,
stamina.
yeah, you have to have stamina. And that's where someone like you or a strong local lender is such an important partner, because you guys are in it with us too. When I work with some of these big banks, I just closed a nightmare transaction.
Oh,
It took over 4 months. And I mean, there were multiple tears shed on multiple fronts. I I trust so much more like people that I know, people that I literally see their face. I can text you on the
yep.
fly. Hey, it's 7 o'clock on a Tuesday. We're showing this house. But I
Yep.
just want people to understand it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yep.
And the game is changing. I'm hoping it's changing for the better in terms of inventory for buyers, but
Yes.
I know with interest rates going up, it makes things a little bit challenging.
A part of that too is like a big part of the rates rising. Remember, the primary rates are rising, but so are the second home rates and the investment rates. So I believe that the thought process behind that on the Federal Reserve side is they're trying to get those buyers out of the market on the financing side so that it can open up maybe some more inventory for the people that are looking at for like primary residence occupation. So that's kind of glass half full too. Not to say, I mean, I
Okay.
love my clients that are buying second homes and investments as well, but sometimes that, and you got to make sure, I mean, you deal with investors too. You got to make sure that rate of return makes sense for them.
Totally.
With their interest rates. So that's also pulling some investors and some second home clients out of the market. So maybe, with the compound effect, it'll open up some more inventory for primary clients.
I'm glad you brought that up, because we have with COVID, we've seen so many people buy second homes here. They are sick of being in big cities and they want to work from home on the beach. Their
Sign
kids are
me
down
up.
here, yeah, doing virtual school. And I love that. But I also have a ton of millennials that live here, or a ton of baby boomers that live here, and they want to be closer to their grandkids and they want primary homes. So I am super hopeful that that is going to change things so that people that want a primary residence
Yeah.
have an opportunity to make offers on these homes. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
If you were to give kind of like one piece of advice to my clients as we wrap this up, what would it be as we go into the next, let's say, quarter of this year?
I would say have strong relationships with your lender and your agent. Trust them. That is the pillar of this entire process. If you don't trust your financer or your agent, you need to find different relationships, because
Okay.
they will go through this with you hand in hand. Like when we win offers, I'm throwing a party. When we lose offers, like I'm just as sad and upset as you guys are, because I care. And that's a big difference. And of course, what you said, I couldn't agree more. Stamina. It is a marathon. It is not a sprint. And just know that it will happen. Timing is everything, but also doing the right things to make the timing, to make every single thing align is what it's all about. So have good relationships, be patient, and know that it'll all work out.
Yep. I love it. We have a good team, and whomever they choose is who they choose. I would love for it to be me. I would love for it to be
1000%.
you, but it's got to work for you. Everybody has to click, but more importantly, you got to find the home that's right for you. So thank you so much. This was great. And I hope people get some value here. If you guys like this kind of content, definitely subscribe, definitely share, tag people in the comments. And we will continue to bring you some more information about this year and the market in Charleston. So thank you so much for watching. Gabby, thank you. And everyone, I hope you have a good day. Bye.